Jaylen, in the middle of the third quarter, you had that steal after a miss. They were trying to go on a run out. You had that steal, and you come back. You hit a three. Vooch hits a three. What was a 15-point game, and they had a little bit of momentum kind of shifted there. What did you see in that play? Did you feel it in that moment that you had to do something to kind of get a stop?
Yeah, I mean, the game is just about managing your emotions. Like, they're going to go on runs, we're going to go on runs, but can't let that, kind of stampede and turn into, like, momentum. So we just got to cut out the momentum plays. Right there, they were trying to get out and get a transition basket, and we was able to stop it. But that's just going to be how the series is going to be, back and forth. We got to just manage momentum.
Jaylen, it seemed like just today was handled with such professionalism. I mean, you guys had a week plus off. Just it seemed like the preparation was there. You guys punched first. Is that just a kind of a culture that you guys have built to just take things seriously, not play with your food, just kind of be focused out there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was Celtic basketball. We've been a harder playing team all year. That can't change now that the playoffs have started. But then it's just focusing in, honing in on the details, and just winning the fight. Being a harder playing team and just guarding. Our offense can win us this series. I mean, our offense is important, but we got to make sure we guard. And I think tonight we did a great job.
Nimi makes his first career playoff start. On one hand, he gets the 5 fouls, but on the other, a lot of impact, especially in the pick and roll, getting behind Drummond in the defense. What did you see from him overall tonight?
Yeah, just growth. Just being big at the rim, protecting us, just managing, getting in foul trouble because we need him on the floor. But, his first job is to protect the rim, and then we trust him when he makes those plays in the seam.
Jaylen, we've heard and talked a lot about your leadership this season. For a lot of guys, this was effectively their playoff debut. What was your message this week to them? I saw, you're always leading the huddle before the game. Like, what are you kind of sharing to guys like Nimi, Baylor, Luka, who maybe haven't been exactly here before?
Just breathe. You know what I mean? Manage your emotions. They might go on a run. They might not go on a run, but just stay together. Win the fight, be the hard playing team, and guard. Don't save yourself for offense. Our offense is going to be fine if we guard. That was my message.
Kind of not game related, but did you guys even hear the "We Want Boston" chant by the fans, which was kind of, I guess, mocking Sixers fans, and were you amused by that?
What's the question?
Did you hear the chant, and what was your reaction to it? Did you find it, were you amused by it, or?
Yeah, we heard it, but for us, we're just coming out and just playing basketball. It's a good team over there. We don't take nothing for granted, so we just it's one game, but we got to continue to play well and play physical on the other end. So I think we just focused on that.
Thank you.
Jaylen, all week we've kind of heard about how, the difference or similarities between the regular season and the playoffs. I have to focus on the same thing. Sam was just talking about how standard's the standard. That's another thing we've heard all year. You guys come out, play the same basketball you played all season. It's easy for us to listen to you guys say, we're just going to play the same, we're just going to do the same thing. But I think understanding the process might get lost in translation a little bit. What does that look like for you guys leading up to a series like this, trying to keep your head the same when it's a different level of intensity?
I mean, same standard. I think our standard is being a harder playing team. But as the playoffs, teams play harder. We got to play even harder or definitely match that. So the mentality, the focus, the attention span, the efficiency needs to improve. We got to get to our spots, and we got to be able to see and read the game as it comes. And I think that is what we've been building up towards all season long, in our film sessions and our practices, and even when we get out on the game. So it's not something that we're not familiar with. We're just intensifying and taking it to another level.
Jaylen, what was different for you in the third quarter? Did you see anything at halftime, or you put the game away?
Yeah, just taking my time, getting to my spots, letting the game kind of flow. That's pretty much it. When the game will open up at some point, you just got to be ready for it when it does. The third quarter is when it kind of opened up for me, and I took advantage.
Jaylen, you kind of touched upon it the other day. How good was it for you to walk into this building for game one of the playoffs, feeling good physically and probably mentally along with that?
No, it feels good. I don't take nothing for granted, man. It's awesome. Playoff energy, playoff basketball is so much fun. I'm happy to be here. and a great first win. But nothing is guaranteed. We're not guaranteed to win the next game. We just got to come out and play and earn it.
Jaylen, a 32-point win in Game 1 is the largest margin of victory in a playoff opener in Celtics franchise history. How ready to go were you guys today?
We're ready. We're prepared. You know, we're ready. So we just got to be ready every time we step out on the floor. But great tone setter. A lot of great teams have played in a Celtics uniform. For us to have the biggest, margin of victory in a home opener in a playoff game is great. It sets the tone, and it reflects our focus and our intensity. Thank you.
Questions for Jayson?
Jayson, obviously it's your first playoff game since being back. You've had the whole regular season to ramp up, but as you guys have prepared for this moment behind the scene, and you personally prepared for this, has there anything changed from the past years of playoff preparation for you?
I mean, yeah. Just from the standpoint of obviously, I'm still rehabbing, right? I'm still returning. I mean, I've returned to play, obviously, but, I still attack rehab, every single day except for when we have off days. So obviously that's the main difference. And still just trying to ramp up. I got to play 16 games. So for me, it's just all about conditioning and, obviously it's still attacking rehab every single day to, feel better and feel stronger and more confident. Things I just didn't have to focus on in the past.
Jayson, you said that yourself that you were having only 16 regular season games played this season. How were you able to start out in playoff intensity so well?
I mean, that's like a loaded question. But, it's really been a long journey, obviously. A lot of things had to go right to even have the opportunity to come back and play. So obviously I'm thank God every day that I'm able to do and return to do what I love. And, from surgery the next day and with Nick and everything in between these last 48 weeks, it's just kind of been a build up to today.
Two crowd questions, if I may. Number one, a huge ovation they gave you when you came out of the game. And number two, there was that "We Want Boston" chant that Celtics fans were letting loose with during the game. Do you hear any of that? And what were your thoughts on that? Must have been kind of amusing.
Yeah, I heard it. We have a tremendous crowd. And, obviously missing 60 some odd games, I miss playing in front of our home crowd, and just the opportunity again to play here in the playoffs is special, and, something I'll never take for granted.
And the "We Want Boston" thing, same thing, or?
I guess it was a response to Philly fans.
You guys really jumped on them right from the beginning, and they never really got anything going defensively, and you seem like you were able to get wherever you wanted offensively as well, getting into the paint and scoring. But specifically at the defensive end, I think they only had 5 threes in the competitive portion of the second half attempted. They barely got any up all game. Did you guys do anything to really limit them there, or was that, do you think that was them maybe passing up on shots after their slow start?
Obviously, part of our game plan, right? They have some really talented scorers over there, and guys, especially with Maxey and George, and Kelly Oubre hit 5 threes in the playing game. So guys that you want to obviously get into their airspace. It's just, playoffs is about making things tough. You can't stop, everything, and obviously they probably feel like they could shoot the ball better and, things like that. But I was proud of the way that we started the game. especially on the defensive end, and it just kind of continues to carry over.
Jason, every time you come out, we over here ask you about how it pertains to your recovery, your rehab, and all of that stuff. Is there any element of that you're kind of sick of? Do you want to get past it so you can just focus on being a basketball player, or do you kind of take that in as part of the whole process?
I mean, no, it's part of the process. It will forever be a part of my story, and obviously it's still fresh. 48 weeks this past Tuesday, so I don't get sick of it. I understand the magnitude of the injury and the narrative around me coming back and everything in between. I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish and return to play and all those things. There was many of days where I wasn't even sure I was going to play this season, let alone get a chance to play today. So I'm overly, just kind of grateful that I'm in this position right now.
We've talked a lot about your rebounding since you came back and how that's been the highest rate of your career. Are there parts of your game, maybe that, or something else that you feel like actually improved while you were gone? And is there some advantage to like a year where you're just watching film and sitting on the sidelines that you're feeling now when you're on the floor, of like maybe even little things?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. For me, rebounding, I feel like I've been the best rebounder on our team the last, 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been. Obviously, a long extended period of time of not playing, I got to work on my body. So I definitely feel a lot, stronger than years past. But I've spoken on quite a few times about, sitting next to the coaches, all those games I was out, and just kind of was able to see the game through their lens, and able to pick up on some things while I was out.
Jay?
You've talked about sort of the doubts you had returning to the court. At what point did it switch for you from like doubts to the optimism of like anything is still possible, not just like down the road, but also right now? And for you dealing with like the loss of confidence, how have you rebuilt that, and where do you feel you're at right now?
Honestly, the day that it changed or became a real thought is when I played, when I got assigned to the G League and played. We had this scrimmage, and that was really the first time that it was like, I might come back this year. And I think just periodically just having kind of like really good days of rehab that, it really boosts my confidence, whether it be how I felt, me hitting certain benchmarks, 2 weeks early than I was supposed to, talking to my teammates, after those scrimmages and get ready games that, just kind of asking them questions, how I looked, and, the confidence that they instilled in me, was impactful.
Last question to Gary.
Jason, it seemed like you guys prepared and entered this game with like a professionalism. You punched first. You didn't let them up. Like, is that kind of the culture built? Is that lessons learned from the past to just take care of your business, even though you guys had more than a week off? And I mean, what was kind of went into the approach today?
Yeah, I think it really starts with just understanding, the injuries, and, Philly has had guys miss some time that they're not really like a traditional 7 seed. They're a really, really talented team, great coaching staff. Nick Nurse is a championship coach. I played against him in the bubble when they was at Toronto. So just understanding, they're a really complete team, and obviously they missing Joel, but they just got some really talented guys, some guys that play hard, and so you have to show them that respect, and knowing that they're gonna play better next game. Next game is gonna be tougher. They're gonna make adjustments, and just preparing for that.